Army, good
Yeah, I
game. If you missed it, you missed
saw that
out.
and thought of you. I think it's good that that Navy doesn't have height weight standards for the football team. That's good.
They do
That's
not. Neither
you know.
does Army.
Oh, Army got
But
rid of theirs?
oh yeah, but
Oh,
they
okay.
you have to get within height weight standards by graduation if you're a senior.
Right.
So
Okay.
you got 6 months after Army Navy to lose. Some of them lose 70 pounds.
Yeah, those are some big boys. Yeah, I tried to be like Switzerland during that game because I got all the boys
Oh
here
yeah,
at home are Army, and
understand.
got my boys Navy. So I just hope for a good game.
It's hard to see either one lose. Be honest with you, because they're just
Well, what I like is the expression of
it's
brotherhood after the game.
yeah,
Like
that's
these
cool
dudes
too.
all know yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
they
rivalry,
know
but
what's happening afterwards. Yeah,
right.
yeah. They
So
they also know they didn't get NIL money, to play football in college, like most
some
good
might,
players are,
as
and
you do. Yeah.
as you do nowadays.
Um, yeah, I might not have retired from football if they'd have had the NIL money. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might
So,
not have
some of
retired.
those guys are staying their senior year now,
Oh
just
yeah,
because they're making more money than they would a rookie in the pros.
right. And that's well, I wouldn't have retired, but I am sorry I retired from Pee Wee baseball. You know that
Yeah,
yeah, shouldn't have done that. Anyway, Stu,
understand.
talking about today, something that you have been thinking a lot about that you're gonna. What's up, C Ray? You talking about thinking or thinking about thinking. What have you been doing? Because you've been sending me these texts with all these words and concepts and stuff. And I'm like, what are you even talking about, dude? So before
Well,
what's been going on and what has led you on this personal discovery about how people think and how we could use it to make more money?
okay. So I went down this rabbit hole. Every time I get asked a good question about toughness,
Yeah.
I go into this rabbit hole of mainly looking up psychology and physiology. Because
Okay.
if you think about it, toughness is mental, it's also very physical,
Sure.
right? Especially in the world that I operate in. So, going down, doing some research, and when I say research, I mean Google, and um, finding some studies
Hmm.
that are very useful, reading some of those, reading some people's PhDs, dissertations on, you know, psychology. And
Hmm.
I found, and this is something I had never heard of, right? I've,
Okay.
I've always heard of the thinking part of the brain, which
Yeah.
is your cognitive frontal lobe, right?
Okay.
You're thinking and creating, things like that. You have the feeling part of the brain, which is feeling everything, sensing, right? Hearing, smelling, touch,
So
sight.
physical feeling.
You are feeling everything. Yes,
Okay,
the
physical feeling.
physical feeling.
Your senses.
Yeah, your senses. Then you
Okay.
have then you have a survival part of the brain, which is a lot of
Yeah.
fun because that's like the reptilian brain that's
Yeah.
all about the four F's. You
Feeding,
know the
fighting, procreation. What's the other one?
food,
Oh,
fight,
yeah.
flight, and reproduction.
And procreation. There you go. The
Yes,
four
yeah, yeah.
F's. Right. Okay.
Yes. So 4Fs, that's our survival reptilian part of the brain. And then
Okay.
I've always said when it comes to toughness, there's a part that has to, like, you have to turn off that thinking part and that feeling part of the brain, right? Because, like, when you're going through Hell
When you
Week, for
say feeling,
instance,
oh, feeling, physical feeling or emotional feeling?
both,
Okay.
it's
All right.
all in there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and believe it or not, this will come back around to marketing. Just stand by.
Okay.
So it has a segue. Um, and so I learned about this fourth part of the brain that I have really just been saying, when I explain it,
Mm-hmm.
you just got to shut down that thinking part of the brain and that feeling part of the brain and
Mm-hmm.
think of something else. You got to just think of something else. A lot of times people will say, "What's your why? Why you doing this? You know, you can't quit because, right?" So you're just getting a little tougher, through the mental massaging of what's going on in your brain, right?
Is that the same thing as go to your happy place, or is that
Yes,
different?
absolutely. Go to your
Okay.
happy place, do what you need to do,
Okay.
right? To get through this thing. Focus intently to where the others aren't even communicating,
Okay.
right? I've always said, your body is 10 times tougher than your brain will let it be,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So, interesting enough, I've
Mm-hmm.
been, in this rabbit hole of finding some things out and people doing neat things with their PhD dissertations. I realized that there's
Mm-hmm.
another part of the brain that
Mm-hmm.
actually has a name.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of cognitive, it's conative. So take out the G out
Mm-hmm.
of cognitive,
Mm-hmm.
and it is conative. This is the doing part of the brain.
So Conitive.
Conative. Yes. I think it might have an
Conitive.
A in it. Hang on. Like I said, this is all new to me, Jim.
I understand, but don't let that get in the way of teaching it to people. I thought it was CA, but I might
It
be
is. I
wrong.
think it's
Okay.
CA. I'm sitting here
Okay.
figuring it out. Yes, conative is a CA.
How do you spell it? Canitive.
CONA,
Okay.
conative. All right.
Okay. I have never heard that before, though I have heard the verb cogitate, which means to think and ruminate
Yeah.
thoughtfully. But what does conative, what the heck is that?
Well, if you think of cognitive is the thinking part of the brain,
Mm-hmm.
sensation is the feeling part of the brain, your brain stem is the survival part of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
This is the doing part of the brain.
Okay.
And its job is actually to quiet down that thinking and feeling part of the brain. And what I
Okay.
mean by that is, for instance, I wake up 5 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
I look at my little weather app, and it says
Mm-hmm.
25 degrees out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for the next 2 hours, I'm going to be outside doing some form of physical activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this while I am laying in my bed, really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain is saying, it's 25 degrees out. Well, you might get frostbite out
uh-huh.
there. Or, whoo, you're really comfortable right now. That's going to hurt when you get out
Mm-hmm.
there. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
sting a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there are thinking and feeling parts of my brain that are going back and forth saying, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And that survival part of the brain is, you might die. Stay in bed. Right? Right? So now
Okay.
this other part of the brain, that
Uh-huh.
doing part of the brain says, screw it. Shut up. We're going out and doing it anyway.
Okay.
Right? And that, you can equate that with mindset, your will, and for lack of a better term, your toughness,
Okay.
right? And so anyway, that was the little rabbit hole I went down, and where they've done most of their studies in this cognitive sensation trio
Mm-hmm.
is with marketing, right?
Really?
What they have done, all their studies have been, they call it the CAC model. Cognitive, they call it affection instead of sensation. Cognitive affection conative model. And if anybody studied psychology, I apologize for butchering all of this, but this is how it's come out after about 2 weeks of reading about it and trying to apply it to my world. This is what I've come up with.
This is what happens when a history major and a Russian studies major try and explain psychology. Keep going. I mean, I
Yes.
love it.
So
Okay.
so this is this CAC model, right? CAC model.
Uh-huh.
It is all about like thinking about a purchase. That's a
Okay.
logical purchase. I need a compass. I could
Right.
really use a compass, find out where I'm going, right? And then there's another part of the brain that says, "Oh, that'd be really cool. I go hiking with my son. It'd be a really cool thing to buy." And
And if
then,
I don't have a compass, I might die
yeah, exactly. I don't have a compass. I might get lost, and
and
we might
die.
die. And then there's a doing part of the brain that says, "Buy now," and I'm buying that thing, right? So whenever you make one of those decisions
Uh-huh.
to buy, it kind of goes into this little CAC loop.
So let me ask a question because and this is really cool. I'm just asking. Is this the area that pushes you over the edge? Like I get in these loops where I'm like, do I want it? Do I really want it? Am I really going to use it? Have I bought stuff in the past? I really, blah blah blah. And then something happens where just go buy the damn thing. Is,
Yeah,
is that is that the thing that's going on there?
that is part of the brain that is making you do it. And now
Okay,
listen, we can use this for good and evil,
sure.
right? If you think about it, because what's a criminal, right? It's got the cognitive part of the brain is, oh man, if I get caught doing this, I probably go to jail, right?
Right.
Jail might hurt, right? I might not want to do that. Oh, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway,
Right.
right? It's almost like a risk reward type of debate that occurs,
Yeah.
when that thing gets triggered,
Okay.
um, for you to do it. So
Okay.
anyway, that is kind of my little rabbit hole I've gone down in the last 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm a little smarter from
So
going down that rabbit hole. I at least kind of understand a new word, um, at worst, but anyway, it's just something I wanted to share with
oh
everybody.
no 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 no
I just
no.
wanted to
Not
share
letting
with
you off
everybody.
the hook that easy. Okay,
Okay,
now you
okay.
stirred us all up. How do we activate this is this an area of the brain? Is it a decision making process? I mean, how do we activate this cognitive button so that somebody pushes it and buys?
Well, Jim,
How do you do that?
funny you should say that because
Uh-huh.
I have a book here
Uh-huh.
that tells you all the reasons why you want to buy.
Stop it.
Do you
Um,
know? You know what page that
page
is?
16, page 16.
Exactly.
Make money, save time, avoid effort, escape pain. Achieve better cleanliness, better hygiene, be more popular, feel more loved. And I don't remember the last one. Don't matter. I see it.
Yeah, you
So,
see that? See that
mhm.
little clip there? Goes right to page 16 every time I open it.
so, but honestly, like in all the stuff that you were studying, what it what activates that? And because it almost feels like, and I'm just reading stuff into this now, okay?
No, you're right
This is
to.
absolutely, we are not qualified
No, I'm not
to teach
qualified to do
anything
any of
about
this.
psychology or anything like that. But it almost feels like this is like the permission step or the or the decision step or the thing that the gets the butt in motion step. Like it's the starting gun. It's
Yeah.
I'm searching for some different stuff.
I,
Is that
the
what
the
it
way
is?
I've learned it, they actually had a word for it. This is the doing step. It is
Okay.
you are doing now. Instead of thinking about it, you're doing it. And you can tie it into other words like mindset, your will, toughness, multiple areas this can be used in. Um, and like I said, most of the studies are marketing firms on trying to understand what is going to get people to buy.
So or to pull the trigger on
Pull the trigger
buying.
on
Okay.
buying. Yeah.
And did they, I mean, did I know that your extensive study, and we can probably get you a PhD in this from some strip mall university somewhere, but in the Dr. Stu, hey, that's got a ring to it, dude. I
Oh,
could be
thank you.
Dr. Jim and you could be Dr. Stu, and we could have a show called The Net Doctors. Anyway, do they
Strip
talk
mall
about
doctor.
strip mall doctor?
Yeah.
Um, but in all, do they talk about the stuff that you read, how to get somebody to take that action, or is this just belly button gazing?
Oh, no, no, no. This was it didn't go into that. Now, had I gone down another avenue and started looking at marketing firms, how they use it,
Hmm.
it probably would probably come back to your hook story offer type of, um, how you get people to buy, um, in general. That's the first thing I thought. When I saw this, I thought hook story offer
Sure.
was my first thought, and why you buy. The
Okay.
12 reasons why you buy.
Yeah,
Um,
10.
10 reasons why you buy.
It's not a baker's dozen. It's a baker 10. Um, nah, this is cool. You got me. This might be something that I might do a little research on during the Christmas break because this sounds very interesting. It makes me think. I've got a book I haven't read yet called Predictably Irrational. I don't know if that has anything to do with that or not. Not recommending the book because I ain't read it. I got a lot of books I haven't read yet. But that's interesting. Any other startling stuff
Um,
from your spelunking into
no, I just applied
psychology?
it to a special operations student,
Hmm.
and how to help them understand that thinking process, that because your brain is going to throw in doubt all the time
Yeah.
when you are working hard,
Okay.
right? If you're working hard to finish a project, it's saying, you know what, it's 10 o'clock at night, it's time. You usually go to sleep by 8:45, 9 o'clock. What are you
Hmm.
doing? Right, it's just starts pinging and things like that. So like Susan says something like, I don't think you need to shut any part of the brain, but you do need to remind yourself that you don't have to listen to everything it says. And that is very true. That's one way of explaining what I said when I um mentioned, like, you just shut off part of the brain. That's how I've explained it. But yeah, it is not listening to it and not getting it to speak to you again. That's what I mean by shutting it off, because if you don't shut it off, it's just going to keep reminding you, hey, this sucks.
Well, one
Um,
way to shut it off is to focus on something else.
absolutely. And one
And
of the best things about going through training like SEAL training is you can easily start to get internal
hmm
really quickly, and
hmm
it goes down this horrible, like, snowball, right? And it just swallows you. Or you can stay external and check on all your buddies next to you, and then you start worrying about them more than yourself. And as an officer going through that training, I always had to worry about, like, what's the next evolution,
right.
right? And what is the equipment and where we got to be, what time we got to be there. So I was always forward thinking about, like, the next event. This one has to end eventually because I'm supposed to be over here at 11 o'clock, right? So it's got to be over somehow. So there's
Right.
little ways to, like, not so focus internally and be more externally focused, that helps you not dwell on the current
Permission
situation when it's painful or things. Yeah,
permission to draw a business analogy from that.
let's do it.
So, and I'll just anytime in my business when we have succeeded wildly, it was because I was 100% focused on the customer's needs, serving the customer, and providing an easy button, solving problems, and creating solutions for the customer, with bar none. The wildestly successful stuff that we have done has always been when my focus was massively external, all focused on the customer and serving the customer. The times when I have experienced doubt and burnout and poopy pity party stuff has been when it's been internally focused or comparing myself to others and measuring not by measuring progress, not by how much better we are than yesterday and how well I'm helping the customers, but measuring it solely based on bank balance. And so that's uh for me, that's what that was saying. If and so if your business isn't where you want it to be, it's probably because you're internally focused instead of focused on the customer and solving problems for the customer. And also, and Susan and I were having a conversation about this, and I had a conversation with my coach about this. Is that whatever the thing is in your business that you are resisting doing is probably the thing that you should be doing number one. I heard a saying today, as a matter of fact, I'd never heard before, but that which you resist will persist. And so if you're hiding from something over in a dark corner in your office that you know you should be doing, but you're finding every excuse not to do it, and it's usually in the area of sales, marketing, approaching other people, advertising, getting eyeballs on your business because that's the part where you could fail, then that's probably the thing you should be focused on.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's interesting, and now thinking about this cognitive function, figuring out how to pull. I think it was Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote a book back in the 70s called "How to Pull Your Own Strings." It may not be the exact title, but it was basically how to motivate yourself psychologically and how to understand why you do what you do. But getting your ass into motion on the things you know you should be doing
Yeah.
is the key to success.
Yes.
And it's interesting that if you can just get yourself moving even a little bit, that momentum, like that sitting around thinking about transition from thinking about it to doing it
Yeah.
is if if I've whatever have gotten sick, gotten distracted, over the years and stuff, all I got to do to start working out again, like if I don't work out for a week or max two, I think the longest I've ever gone in the last 10 years with you is like 2 weeks. And probably it's because I was sick.
Yeah.
But if you want to start working out again, you drop down and you do one push up. And if you do
Yeah.
one push up, you have started working out again.
There you go.
And isn't it amazing that that one little action gets you going? So I love it, man. This is cool. This has gotten me kind of excited to start. This is a new avenue that I think I want to do some learning on.
Yeah. I think it's worth it. For sure. Um, I'll give you an example of getting things into doing motion this year. This year's been um, just a crazy year. For the
Hmm.
whole year, we've been planning a wedding
Hmm.
that is Saturday. This
Yay.
Saturday. My daughter, I get to walk my daughter down the aisle. Very excited. But we've been planning this thing for a full year. Okay.
Hmm.
My dad gets sick in the middle of the year, hospital visit, stroke, and we're dealing with all his medical stuff. And in this whole time, I was writing a book and trying to get this book done.
Right.
And I kept getting distracted, kept getting distracted. And thinking about it, I was thinking about it, writing it in my head for a long time. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I got to get this thing out of me. It is driving me crazy now. This
Hmm.
is one thing I can control. I can't control what's happening 3 months from now on the wedding day. I can't control any more about what's going on with my dad. It is what it is. We got a new normal. And I was like, I'm getting it done. I'm going to get this thing done by Thanksgiving
Hmm.
or by Black Friday, I think it was. And I, just forced myself to do it. Um, but yeah, that's what it is. It's that doing part of the brain. It is getting moving. It's just getting started. Really, is what it was. Otherwise, you're just gonna think about it all day.
So, a couple things. I think, you know, this has been a tough year for a lot of different reasons, but couple of thoughts, things that have helped me get through this year, and I know instinctively you do this stuff too. You just said, you focus on what you can control, and you may not be able to act on it right then, but if you keep it center of mind, keep it on the radar, keep it going, like the thing with your book, with the stuff you're doing with your dad and all that other stuff, you might not have been able to work on it, but because you were focused on what you could control as soon as you could control it, it was also cooking in your mind. It was doing that mental crock pot cooking,
Oh
that
yeah, it
back
was back
burner
burner.
stuff.
It was
Right.
back burner thinking, but it was still working.
So when you can get started, it flows out. But if
Yes.
you focus on it long enough, it's like a giant mental pimple. Eventually, it's got to pop. And you just got to keep it long enough till your mind finally says, we just got to get this done so you'll stop bugging the crap out of me about this.
Yeah, that really is
And
what it was. And you know what? My stress levels dropped tremendously
yeah,
when I got that off of my mind.
because you knew you were working on what you were supposed to be working on,
Yeah.
and it also will give you a sense of control. So, and as we all are getting older, you're going to have to take care of parents. You're going to have to deal with stuff that we didn't have to used to deal with. And they, as you get older, they pile more crap on you, not less. Yeah, when you were a kid, when I'm a grown up, I'm gonna have all that stuff under control. I'm gonna have money. I'm not gonna have any worries. Nobody's gonna tell me what to do. I can stay up as late as I want, eat whatever I want, go wherever I want. And now the only thing you want to do is go to bed early.
That's right.
Leave me
Like
alone.
like somebody says, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?" And he's calling me at like 9 o'clock. I'm like, "What?"
Dude, don't you ever call me after 8 o'clock. I had a deal with Yannick Silverman 20 years ago. I said, dude, you don't call me after 8 o'clock at night, and I won't call you before 5 a.m.
There you go. I like that.
And so that cut that out real quick. But my point is that if you can focus on what you can control, it will give you a sense of control, which will instantly lower your stress. When you're stressing, usually it's because there's something undone or
Hmm.
something that you are worried about that you have no control over. And
Yeah.
so one of the things that helped me this year is to cultivate the perspective of the observer. And I learned this from a book. Susan, if you could help me with that, Sean dude, the mind hacking happiness book, or the name of it. But this was something I pulled out of that book, that if you can approach life mentally as like you're the observer of what's going on, not detached and cold and stuff like that, but when you look at stuff that's happening, you look at what's happening as an observer. He calls it the control room of your mind or whatever. It puts a layer between you and what's happening that allows you to not freak out
Huh.
and actually helps you to make better decisions. Um, and it's a really, really good book. If you're looking for something, Mind Hacking Happiness is the name of it. Would really recommend a great Christmas read. Aside from Ageless Athlete by Stu Smith, available
Thank you,
on
sir.
Amazon and StuSmithFitness.com. Um,
Actually,
but
I don't have it on Amazon yet.
oh, well, shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
StuSmithFitness.com.
Yes.
Exclusively
Just
available at
that is it.
StuSmithFitness.com.
It's one
Um,
place.
But cultivating that's what saved me this year. Honest to God. This is how, with everything that was going on and all the software upgrades that we've been doing and all the changes and all the other stuff, this being able to get into this position so as not to be immobilized by emotion, and other stuff like that. An amazing um it's an amazing book, that Mind Hacking Happiness. I'm in fact, you know what? I think I'm going to take that and read that. I got all these books I want to read over Christmas break. I don't know how quick I'm going to be able to do it, but that right there is cool. Now,
Yeah, I like that. I like the way it you can look at things rationally, you know, using that cognitive part of your brain versus that sensing part of your brain. And
and he talks
yeah,
a lot about brain function and kind of the science and stuff behind it, and there's some cool stories in there too. So you want to see something kind of cool, Stu? What's up,
yes.
Anza?
Hey,
Renee's
before you
here.
show it,
Uh-huh.
I want to share with you what I did. I know I can't make the genie hacking show today,
Uh-huh.
just because my day starts like right after this podcast, and I have airport picking up uncles and a bunch of family members coming in early. But anyway, I'm excited. And anyway, what I did this weekend, in between Army Navy game and things like that that was going on,
Tailgating.
is I wrote all of my articles for this week,
Wow.
and I wrote three more, rewrote three more on my website just to post into my weekly newsletter that I've already created and set the date to go out on Friday. So I am actually done with all of my work. No need to think about a deadline for military.com or for my site or newsletter stuff. It's already done. I did it all weekend. It took me, 3 or 4 hours to really focus on it and get it done. But Jeannie's really helped me, one, with ideas to write those three articles that I had to go out. And then I used the rewrite Jeannie to do three old articles that I had created years ago and put them up at the front of my website. And those would be new articles that are going out and into my newsletter that goes out every week. So I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done all week. And
Good for you.
Jeannie's helped me do that. So
That's
anyway,
awesome.
you can share my story.
I appreciate that. How a Navy SEAL took Christmas off. It's the best Christmas ever. Dude, I gotta share something funny with you. I put it up on Facebook, but I asked, um, I'm getting tired of a lot of hypey stuff that I'm seeing. And so, I saw a bunch of these videos like, I asked ChatGPT to make me rich, and here's what happened. And, seeing videos and stuff
Oh,
with
I did
that.
see that post. Yes.
Yeah. So I put up a post that said, I told ChatGPT to make me a sandwich. Here's what it said.
I
And
remember that.
I said, I was very rude to it. I said, make me a sandwich. It said, sure thing. What kind of sandwich are you talking about? Classic tip, blah, blah, blah. So it talks about sandwich. And I said, where's my sandwich? And it says, if I could reach through the screen, you'd have it in your hands already. I said, promises, promises. And that says, fair point. I owe you one. If I could make good on it, you'd have a sandwich worthy of a Navy SEAL, protein packed, perfectly balanced, and ready for action. That really
Huh.
pissed me off. Where's my sandwich? So
Huh.
anyway, ChatGPT can't do everything.
No, it
Um,
cannot.
okay, so Stu, what's the one thing all customers want? What's the one
Hmm.
thing all customers want? I mean, do people want to work out, Stu?
No.
Ultimately, yeah,
No.
nobody wants to work out. They want to have
Have the
worked out.
results of working out.
They want to be slim. They want to be
Yes.
trim. They want to be sexy. Okay. Um, you know what people want, Stu?
The easy button.
They want the easy button.
Yes.
So you talk about paying attention to your customers, what they want, what they're interested in, what's important to them. And it's interesting to see, people talking about ChatGPT and copying content and other stuff like that. It's like, well, I could just go over to ChatGPT and ask it to create something, and it does a good enough job. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, All right. So what you're saying is you just want to vomit into the thing and have it give you something cool. Now, when you ask like that you ask a focus group that, they get real defensive. So you can't ask it that way. But yeah, just picky. But Stu,
Yes.
copying content's pretty amazing because all you have to do is just fill out a form, whack the button, it gives you an amazing result. The problem
Life
is,
changing, Jim. Life changing.
so we're able to
Not amazing.
reduce something that
It's
took
life changing.
2 hours down to, 15, 20 minutes. You know what the problem is, Stu?
What's that?
Nobody wants to fill out the form.
What?
No one wants to fill out the form. It's too much work to fill out the form, too much thinking. So,
Mm.
Stu,
You got a genie for
I
that.
you spoke, I listened. No, Stu, we don't have a genie for that. We have an easy button for that.
Oh my gosh.
Have
I
you
love
seen
it.
this yet?
You haven't showed me, but you were talking about it, and I'm
Okay.
getting excited because I know what's coming.
All right. So you decide, Stu. Creating an offer, creating an avatar, creating headlines, Facebook ads, short sales letter, blog post, email, opt-in squeeze page. Which one of those do you have a need for right now, Stu?
Um, yeah, I guess I could use an opt-in page, get some more people to my
Oh,
newsletter.
okay. Well, then this is what we're going to do. I'm going to demo for you. And then everybody else, just so you know, Genie Hacking is right after this. And we are going to spend the whole Genie Hacking on all these cool, easy button things that we got in here. So I'm going to show you this. This is the opt-in squeeze page Genie. Okay.
Okay.
And so I'll zoom in and you see something.
Look at that easy button.
You see this new thing at the top called the easy button. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to use the easy button. So it's not a requirement that you use the easy button. I mean, it's not like you have to use the easy button. Sorry. You don't have to use the easy button. You can still use it the old way. So you can load
Okay.
your avatar, load your offer, load your profile, all that good stuff. Okay. So it's not, like you don't have to use any of that stuff anymore. This is to make it easier if you need it. So let's say, okay, I'm just gonna what's something you need from your newsletter? I mean, what would be something you could maybe give away with your newsletter?
Um, Free ebook?
Okay.
Or is that too easy?
I don't know. We'll put in whatever. All right.
Free.
So I'm
How
just gonna
about a free swimming critique
okay, cool.
or exercise critique?
My name is Stu Smith. I'm a former Navy SEAL. I teach people how to get ready for special operations contracts and serving in the military, police, firefighter, and first responders. I have a newsletter called Stu's Amazing Newsletter that I put out every Friday with tips and actual workouts to help people get ready to serve. And as a special bonus, I'm offering a swim critique video for anyone who sends me their video. I will actually critique it. All right. So I vomited into the thing.
No, that's good.
I hit the easy button. It spelled your name wrong. I apologize.
It's quite all right.
So now it's going to fill this whole thing out. So your avatar's aspiring special operation candidates.
Damn.
Looks pretty good to me. Stu's amazing newsletter. It's a newsletter. Become physically and mentally prepared for special operations. That's the result they want. Purpose of giving this away: provide tips and workouts, help individuals qualify, offer personalized swim critiques, motivate and support candidates on their journey to serve. I'll fix that. Former Navy SEAL, passionate, regularly shares successful this. Payoffs you're giving away: weekly fitness tips, strategies for overcoming physical challenges, insight. And then this is where it'll, let's do entrepreneur and language style informal second person. So now
Oh,
we're going to come down here, whack this. All that looked pretty accurate too, dude. All
that was
you'd
really
have to
good.
do is just go through and take a little pass at it.
It's like a genie
Maybe
inside a genie.
that's exactly what it is. But it's the easy button, Stu. So now it's writing that up. Unlock a potential day. Stu's amazing newsletter. Transform your fitness, achieve your goals, and serve with confidence. Ready to elevate your fitness journey? Stu's amazing newsletter. Your multi-resource resources, crush physical goals, qualify for military and first responder roles, simply enhance your swimming skills. Weekly
Damn.
fitness tips, personalized swim critiques, insight in the selection process, motivation support, strategies to overcome physical challenges. Get your first issue today and transform your life. Don't wait for opportunity. Not join the ranks of dedicated individuals. Dude,
That's really good. You need to send
okay.
that to me, Jim.
So the
That's good
thing is, the
stuff.
cool thing that you might be asking, well, what if I don't like what it says? Okay, well, see that right there? You can hit that little recycle button. And hey, let me tell you something. Why is my chat box not blowing up? Why are you all not going nuts? Perhaps you are totally hypnotized by the amazingness that you've seen, but I need some feedback on this. So
Unbelievable.
become physically, mentally prepared for special operations. We whack that again. Achieve peak physical readiness for special operations and first responder
No.
careers. Yeah, dude, it'll regenerate just that
Wow.
one. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
And then
Jim.
you can save it as usual. You just save it. Example newsletter opt in page for Stu. In all seriously though, do you want me to download this for you?
Yes.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
that's awesome.
Okay.
I mean,
So
I'll probably go play with it too, but I don't have time right now.
okay. So it's like, yeah, I got to go pick up Uncle Larry. So here's another one. I'll just show you one other one. Um, one of the things that people struggle with is creating their avatar. And so I understand that. So I'm going to click new on this. I'm just going to vomit something into this. I'm a former Navy SEAL who helps aspiring special operations candidates get ready for the physical demands for selection so they can serve in elite units. I specifically help them with physical fitness, mental toughness, and swimming. And I've been doing this for 25 years. Okay, so that's all I put in here. I'm going to click the easy button and it's going to take the first whack at the avatar, the entire avatar junior. I don't have the easy button set up on the full avatar yet, but I will after the first of the year. But look at this. Identity, aspiring special operations candidate, ideal identity, elite operator.
Damn.
Avatar's focus is physical fitness, immediate result, improved physical performance. Again, if I want to, I can click refresh on that. Look at this, pass the selection process for special operations. Long-term goals: succeed in selection. Problem they need to solve: enhance physical and mental preparation. Pain point: difficulty of meeting whatever that said. Critical question: what training regimen will best prepare me for selection? Roadblock: I might not have the right plan or guidance. Let me hit that again. The training's too physically demanding for me to handle. And bottom line: want to excel in selection. Bro, we
Damn.
just took a process that used to take at least an hour for people to think through, and we have reduced it down to you just tell me about you, who you think your audience is, all that good stuff, and it creates a dang good first draft of an avatar
Damn.
like that. We have literally taken what took an hour and reduced it down to a couple of minutes. I mean,
Really.
and that's, I mean, dude, we've done this long enough. This is a totally accurate avatar.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
You want me to save it?
Yes, please. Unbelievable, Jim. All
Stu,
right.
aspiring special operation candidate avatar. So now in the past, we've talked about how, and by the way, those of you who are in copy and content, we're going to be going a lot more in depth with the easy button. I'm going to be demoing a whole bunch of other stuff on genie hacking and giving you a chance to respond and give your thoughts. But Stu, think about, we've talked about, you can have as many avatars as you want, having
Yeah.
avatars that you target for specific stuff. But let's be real, dude. In the past, it's been kind of hard. C-Ray said something interesting. He said, part of the problem is I would spend all this time putting together my avatar, and by the time I got to the end, I didn't really want to change it because I was emotionally invested in it, and it invested so much energy that I was just glad it was done. But see, now you talk, I don't know where it fits on all this cognitive and all this other stuff, but we've talked in the past about everything being like a battery. And so throughout this process, I've been trying to save you energy, emotion, spiritual, whatever, and doing the trade off of I have to think about it, I have to do it, and I have to write it and do all this other stuff. But now you only use up a little bit to get so far down the trail. All you're doing is saying, now, does this make sense? You don't have to think it up. You just have, does this make sense? And the cool thing, I'm going to show you one other thing just to do a comparison. Okay. Just to understand what's going on here. Everyone's, oh, ChatGPT, I just got to put that in. It's amazing. Um, but if I, it's going to show this. All right. If I take this thing where we just defined your avatar, where we did that, purpose built, I'm going to come over here. Hang on one sec. Forget everything you think you know about me and treat me as a brand new person. I put that in there. I put that into the genie and it gave me an avatar. I put that into ChatGPT. It doesn't know what to do. I have to be a prompt engineer to use ChatGPT to extract an avatar out of that. Okay, and now I'm going to ask it, who is my avatar? Now, it's telling me stuff that has nothing to do with an actual avatar. This is telling me who my avatar. It's not who's my customer avatar. So now I'm going to have to try and wrestle with this to have it come up with my avatar. Now they've got new stuff where you can program in your language and your background, all this other stuff, but you still got to know how to be a prompt engineer with ChatGPT and wrestle with it as opposed to using the genie and having it spit out an entire opt-in page for you or define your avatar massively. And that's why the easy button, and if you're going to be using up all your thinking capacity and all that stuff, now wrestling with ChatGPT, trying to give it what you want, trying to get it to give you what you want, if you even know what it is exactly that you want. In other words, if you want to get an opt-in page, you better know what an opt-in page should have, how it's structured, all that good stuff. So now, honestly, this gives me a great comparison between basically what ChatGPT said. I put that one thing into the genie and it gave me an amazing magical result. I put that thing over into ChatGPT and it says, wow, that's cool. Literally, it said, that's cool. So that's a differentiation between the genies and ChatGPT. So
That is a great comparison contrast.
So
segment that should be saved.
it is what it is. So anyway, everybody have a wonderful holiday. Stu, remember to enjoy this weekend, not to stress,
I am. I
because
am.
just enjoy it. We will not see you next week
That's
because
right.
it's a holiday, but we
Yep.
will see you the following week.
New
And
Year's Day.
oh, we're going to do this New Year's Day? You
Let's
want
do
to?
it. I think we should.
Okay, we can. I mean, we'll just jump on. I'm not going to expect Susan to be here, so you and I will just muddle through, bro.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Everybody have a great day. If you're not a member of Copy Content, you should be. And those of you that are members, I'll see you on Genie Hacking here in just a few minutes. Bye.